Uber wants to see an all-electric fleet by 2030. Is it possible? Let's talk about it. Welcome everyone, my name is Mark. Welcome to my world. Welcome to UberHints. In this video, we are going to talk about the feasibility of having an all-electric Uber fleet by 2030. Is it even possible? Well, back in the 1960s, President John F. Kennedy said we were going to put a man on the moon by the end of the decade. Not because it's easy, but because it's hard. And I don't know, it would seem to me putting a man on the moon is a lot more difficult than building an all-electric fleet, especially since we already have electric cars. We didn't already have anything on the moon. But a recent situation in California really made me question this. Why California? Well, because I think California is a good barometer of the future of electric cars. It is a state that has more electric vehicles than any other state in the union. Now, granted, there are more people in California, but what am I talking about? Well, there has been a recent heat wave in California, and during that heat wave, the state of California asked electric vehicle owners to, I don't know if they asked them not to charge their vehicles, but to cut back on charging their vehicles. Yeah, they asked them not to charge their vehicles. Now, this has been fact-checked by places like Snopes, and they say, no, that's not true, but it is true. There is a difference between putting out a request and making it a requirement. It's true, they did not mandate that people couldn't charge their vehicles, but they asked people not to charge their vehicles. Why is this significant? Why am I bringing it up? Right now, about 2% of vehicles in the United States are electric. 2%. And we're already finding that that 2% is putting a significant drain on our electrical grid. So much so that the largest state in the union, I think it's the largest state by population anyway, has asked the people who own electric cars not to charge the vehicles. 2% of vehicle ownership is electric. What happens when that 2% becomes 10%, 20%, 100%? This is something I think that advocates of electric vehicles don't think about. Can the infrastructure keep up with the technology? I wanted to take a look at a chart here where our electricity comes from. So if you follow along with this, let me make a little more room here. And you can see the source of U.S. energy. 20% is nuclear. You know, there's a lot of people, a big contingency of people that do not like nuclear energy, and they're going to protest it if we use more of it. Coal is 19%. Natural gas, 40%. We have pretty strong natural gas reserves in the U.S. right now, but people are still protesting that. They don't want natural gas. Pipelines. Let's go to renewables. What's interesting here, hydro, 7.3% hydroelectric power. I would have thought that was way, way higher. But you see that we do not rely a lot on renewable energy. In fact, if you look at solar, only a little over 2% of our energy is solar energy. So to simply say, well, we'll rely on the sun, maybe someday, but first of all, it's going to take a lot of money. New builds take a lot of money and a lot of time. And the way technology progresses, oftentimes by the time they get these vast fields built, a lot of the technology is old and dated, and they almost immediately have to rebuild again to get 2% of your energy. I think that's what people are not thinking about. There's a group of people, I don't want to come down too hard on specific people, but there's a group of people out there that, and I'm going to simplify it because obviously people don't think exactly this, but it's sort of the psychological and emotional mindset. Where does electricity come? From an outlet. I just plug my car in. Well, guess what? Even people that have electric cars are discovering this plug-in system doesn't work as well as I thought it would. And what I did is I found an article here. What it says is one in five electric vehicle owners in California switch back to gas. 20% of the people that have electric cars aren't even happy with it because charging the cars is so difficult. In a state that supposedly has more charging stations and more convenience for charging electrical vehicles than any other state in the union, and I say supposedly, but it's probably true, it's still too difficult. And they're talking about how plugging in the car gives them so little power. In roughly 3 minutes, you can fill a gas tank and they're talking about a Ford Mustang. It can go 300 miles. Okay, 3 minutes, 300 miles. And this guy says that he was panicked when he saw his battery was getting low and he couldn't find a place to charge it. He charged it overnight, got a range of 36 miles. Now, I know there's a difference between the different types of charging stations. If you're charging it on, 110 volt in your house, it's not going to charge as much, and that's probably what he did. But even the 240, it says here it's known as level 2, and it doesn't often give it a full charge overnight. The supercharging stations that you find all over have, according to this, now I don't know a lot, I'm not an expert on this, I'm just based on research. They can charge a little over an hour, 480 volts. Who has a 480 volt system? And it takes an hour. Unless you have that convenience, you're on a trip, you're, running your Uber vehicle, sit down and eat lunch and take an hour for your car to get charged. This is not the answer. Will it be the answer in 10 years? Maybe so. I don't know, but I often think companies like Uber, it's so easy to put out a press release and say, look at us, we are so good. They call that virtue signaling, don't they? When it's easy to say something and then pat yourself on the back and say, didn't I do a good thing this day? When actually you did nothing. You put out a press release saying we're going to have all electric vehicles by 2030. And you don't even own the cars. Uber does not even own the cars. They want you to buy the electric vehicles and put up with all this hassle that we've just been talking about. So they can say all they want. Remember when they said in 2017 we're going to have flying cars by 2020? I don't let them forget that because they said that now they don't even have a flying car division. That's just in 4 short years. 4 years from now, we revisit this. Is Uber still going to be saying we want electric cars in 2030? Probably, because that's still going to be 5 years down the road. But what's going to happen in 2028, 2029? And are we still going to be in this situation? I don't know, but I kind of think so. I don't think that you can flip an entire nation that has been reliant on fossil fuels for so long and turn on a dime. I'm kind of surprised, and I've said this before, that we're still using the internal combustion engine after 120, 130 years. But apparently it's worked out pretty well for us. So is this switchover possible? What do you think? Are you going to be one of the people that will go out and buy an electric vehicle to do rideshare? Maybe you already own one. How do you feel about electric vehicles? Is it inconvenient to charge them? Can you go all day? Can you do a full 8-hour, 10-hour, 12-hour rideshare shift in an electric vehicle? Those are important questions to answer. Let me know down below. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, click my face in the corner to subscribe and ring that bell icon up above. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Mark, and this is UberHints.